Okay, my a power outage. A small power outage yet again. Is this a mag keyboard? No, this will okay. So this doesn't work. You know that. I'll just stick to fish bait. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Incredible. Yeah, I need a second one. Oh, can't afford it. That's sad now. Can you actually see it? Okay. Free money. It's not gonna stop. Oh my days. Oh my days, this is so... Someone really wants to get cheap fish bait. Someone really wants to get very cheap fish bait. For some reason. Someone really does. And they're trying to do it at my cost. That's not good. I have plans for doing my museum. Like, look at the price of dragon. Let's look at the price of dragon fragments. Dragon fragments. Superior and the sky as always. Wise is low. But they're like, look at all these are like 10 sky like XP, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sky like XP. If I sell all of it, it's fine. I've definitely made money. I'll say that. I definitely have made money. What more can I add on it? Attributes maybe, and some more books. But like, I'll begin to add books when I unlock the hacks. I don't have any orders. Yeah, check this out. 5,000 on crit, 17,000 critical hit. Definitely worth like a million coins, like not even a million, yeah, exactly. It's not even worth a million coins. But also, like, see, now it's 14,000 because it has got first strike. Ah. Not bad. Especially as I have a lot of mana now. 400. Yeah. And this sword is just wow. Wow. Okay, let's go to my island and get all this stuff. So, let's go to the hub. Let's try to do some slayers, maybe. And to do that, the easiest way, didn't have a phone. Okay. Abby phone. Go back to it back. Let's try. How's your Adam? Bro, let me add you. This is what the dungeon have it. Sorry, not have hub. Okay, this is why the dungeon hub is. I mean, like crazy, you know. It's under Maddox. Yeah, I wanna add you, fam. Wait, I'll go to the dungeon hub. Yeah, I don't also not play it, but like, you know, we know this. Okay. Oh no, it's just the. Okay, that's not what I thought. I don't have Windows stuff, so that's too bad. Kinda. I have no raw stuff, but it doesn't work, and also I have boots that I cannot use in the catacombs. So wait, I need to convert them to dungeon items. Well, that's great. Okay. Oh my days. What is that? Yo! Stop being so aggressive, bro. Days. What is that? Oh yeah. +1 crit damage. Wait, I need to go to the castle. I don't remember where it is. Oh, yeah. Bro. Yo, how? Oh, no. Oh. What's my crit chance? Yo, what? 56%? Yo, what? Linux off. Who is this guy? I gotta know. Alright, it's a mod. Oh my god. How? How? Man. In 2025? $1 billion coins? Wait, 42 million FPs? That's crazy, fam. How do people do this, man? My account is a lot older than this. I mean, my profile. Oh my days. you gonna come back Susie now? I like you did anyway. Because it was created today. No, yesterday. No. But like, I'm gonna check this other guy out until like flick. The other guy I met. Come on, 19. But you know, Slayers, he's gonna be this. Well, also I don't have good Slayers anyway. Mm. But honestly, it's amazing, man. Yo. I was thinking if it was my sword, no, it's not. Um, but yeah, is it legendary, bro? Oh. Mother smartphone. Phone. Okay, how do I craft it? Slide. Wow. Oh my goodness. No, but what else I need something. I got a hamster wheel. That's nice. Useless, right? What? I was used to sell this, bro. Whoa, what? I'll save the hamster wheel. The rest can go there. Can't use this. I want to get this. Jesus. No, but look, this is horrible. My crit chance is 56%. they just eat it? Okay. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so tired. So what can we do? I know. I know. I just know. I don't know what we can do. The end. Okay, we'll find the cheapest one. It's young, but quite frankly, surprising me. No. It cost me 3 million. Fine. 3 million. 3 million indeed. You know what? Sure. I don't care. And the heck's so bad. Well, I did everything I could to make this nice. So now what I gotta do is make all this. First of all, sell this. I use the ability. Okay, I want some videos. I jinx my mana.
Is with no doubt one of the most popular and sought after playstyles in Hypixel Skyblock, as not only is one of the strongest weapons in the entire game built for the mage class, but it's also really easy to learn and cheap to get started with. However, in order to play mage well, you're going to need a lot of mana to cast abilities with, and if you don't know how to scale and manage your mana properly, you're not really going to get very far at all. Now, while increasing your mana is literally the most important piece of knowledge required to play mage effectively, it's also not the only important piece of information which makes mage surprisingly complicated, that it just ends up becoming overwhelming very quickly. This is why I've taken the task to break down every important detail about scaling and managing your mana to hopefully make it a much easier concept to understand. However, there is still a lot of content to cover in today's video though, so
guys,
sit back,
it's OG.
relax, and enjoy
It's gonna be
the time
outdated.
scaling your mana in
Probably.
Hypixel Skyblock.
It's loud.
So what is mana? Why is it so complicated? And what are the fundamental ideas that you need to know in order to scale your mana in this game? To fully understand the content of today's video, let's start with the first question. What is mana? Mana by itself is a very simple concept. Think of it as a fuel that's required to use specific abilities, and once you run out of that fuel, you can no longer cast any abilities that use mana until it's regenerated again. Now this isn't exactly the problem with mana's complexity, it's more the general term for mana, intelligence. Now while most people think that mana and intelligence are the same thing, they actually have some pretty big differences. Mana is purely the fuel that's used to cast all the fancy mage abilities, while intelligence is what increases your overall mana yield. Scaling your intelligence will result in you having more mana readily available for use, but it also results in your magic weapons dealing significantly more damage the higher your intelligence is. This means that as a mage, you don't want to only scale your mana to use your abilities, you want to scale your intelligence as it includes both more mana and more ability damage. So now that we understand what mana actually is, I'm going to focus on scaling intelligence, or for short, Intel, for the rest of this video. Which brings us to the second question, why is it so complicated? Now while scaling intelligence is the most important aspect of playing as a mage, some abilities in this game have absurdly high base mana costs that even with really high intelligence numbers will still drain your mana extremely fast. This means that mana regeneration and mana cost reduction are other very important metrics that need to be explored, and on top of this, being able to actually scale your ability damage is also very important. Now there are many ways that you can increase intel, ability damage, or reduce your mana costs, but I'm only going to be focusing on the most significant ones in today's video, being weapons, armor, enchants, accessories, skills, and pets. I could continue this voiceover explanation as to how all of these factors contribute to intelligence, but I figured it would be easier if I hop into the game right now and actually show you guys
As he
how
always does.
scaling your intelligence works. So in order to show how intelligence scaling works in practice, I figured the easiest way to do this would be to start on a fresh, brand new profile with no stat boosts at all, and then slowly but surely add in more and more different stat boosts to show you guys exactly how the mana scales accordingly. So to start things off on a brand new profile, you can see that I have 0 intelligence on a fresh Skyblock profile. If I click on the profile overview and then look at the stats here, it says that I have no intelligence, but my mana pool is set to 100. This is because of what I explained in the introduction earlier as to how mana is like the fuel for abilities, whilst intelligence is both the fuel for abilities and the damage for them. And I can demonstrate that I still have mana without having any intelligence by using something like the Rogue Sword, right-clicking it once for the ability, and you can see down in the bottom right corner that my mana did get used there, and I do have an ability active right now. But if I switch off of that brand new Skyblock profile and go to one that has a couple of more stats on it, you can already tell that my mana has gone from 100 all the way to 338, even though I have no armor and I've got nothing on me. Now take a look at my Skyblock overview here, you can see that I now have 238 intelligence, which brings me up to a mana pool of 338. And this is due to a couple of base profile upgrades here, but the ones that I'll be focusing in this video are going to be the enchanting skill and the alchemy skill. So as you can see here, the enchanting skill provides a base 106 intelligence, whilst the alchemy skill provides a base 86 intelligence, and this is with both of these skills being max level. If you add both of their intel boosts together, this is a total intelligence boost of 192, so if I ignore all of the other stats on my profile here, it would bring my total intelligence value from 0 all the way to 192, which would bring the mana pool up to 292 since you start with 100 base mana. On top of this base intel boost provided by these skills though, if I go ahead and throw on a basic set of Wise Dragon armor, you can see that my mana almost doubles just from putting on this armor set. Coming back to the stats breakdown once again, you can see that my intelligence has now increased up to 588, which is a pretty drastic jump from the 300 or so that I had before. And if I take a look at what is causing this, it tells you that my Wise Dragon helmet is giving me 125 base intelligence, the boots, leggings, and the chestplate are also providing 75 base intel. However, armor can also boost your intel in a slightly different manner. If I equip the second set of Wise armor on instead, you can see that I go from 688 mana all the way to 1188. And this armor if I base intel. Causing this, it tests again, you can see that my intelligence has now increased up to 588, which is a pretty drastic jump from the 300 or so that I had before. And if I take a look at what is causing this, it tells you that my Wise Dragon helmet is giving me 125 base intelligence, the boots, leggings, and the chestplate are also providing 75 base intel. However, armor can also boost your intel in a slightly different manner. If I equip the second set of Wise armor on instead, you can see that I go from 688 mana all the way to 1188. And this armor here is completely clean with no enchants on it, but it has some specific reforges which give it all that intelligence. So taking a look at this helmet here for an example, this basic Wise Dragon helmet provides 125 intelligence just as a normal stat, but this very Wise Dragon helmet provides 250 intelligence, which is literally double that of the normal Wise Dragon helmet. Now this is because I've reforged the Wise helmet to Wise, and because the Wise helmet has the word Wise in the name, the reforge will change the name to a very Wise Dragon helmet. But the special thing about the Wise Reforge is that not only does it give you an extra 15 health and 2 speed, but it also provides you with that beautiful 125 intelligence boost. Now, I've applied that Wise Reforge to my shoes as well, but my leggings have what's called the Necrotic Reforge, and if you take a look at the blue numbers here, the Necrotic Reforge gives you plus 150 intel instead of plus 125. The chestplate also has the Loving Reforge on it instead of the Wise or the Necrotic Reforges, and the Loving Reforge by default will also provide an extra 100 base intel on top of the base intel that the piece already comes with. So overall, even though this armor set has no enchants or really any upgrades to it, these very simple reforges end up adding a ton of extra intel on top of the base intel the armor provides. And this is exactly why wearing this armor set is increasing my intelligence and my mana by a pretty substantial amount. But on top of wearing this Wise Dragon armor set, I can also increase my mana with my accessories, and the way by doing that is by selecting a very specific power stone if I come over to Maxwell and talk to him. So by default on a fresh profile, you'll only have the base power stones unlocked. I'll highlight them in the edit so you can see exactly which ones these are. If you haven't bought any power stones or you aren't able to afford any at the time being, the best one to go for intelligence is the Inspired Power, because this one will provide the most intelligence out of any of the other options here. Now if I go ahead and click on the Inspired Power to show what it does, you can see that my mana has once again jumped up from about 1100 all the way to 1400, and on top of wearing this armor set, having those skills from earlier and just the base mana that a profile comes with, we are now sitting at a whopping 1.4 thousand mana, and I haven't even shown all of the methods to keep increasing this. Now on top of selecting a power stone, you can also do what's called stats tuning, and currently my stats are tuned to give me bonus attack speed, but if I really wanted to, I can clear those points, select intelligence instead, assign all of my points into intelligence, and now this is giving me an extra plus 74 intelligence, so when I exit this menu, I now have 1492 mana, putting me even closer to 1500. Now this Inspired Power will only give you a certain amount of intelligence based on how much magical power you have at the time, and I will get into how to obtain magical power later on in the video, but I just want to show how it all works before I go into detail on how to do that. To throw up a quick side-by-side though, if I hop over to my main profile and show you how much the Inspired Power actually gives me on my main, you can very clearly see a massive difference in intelligence from having 375 magical power and over 1000, so going for as much magical power as possible is also going to increase your intelligence by a drastic amount. But having the correct power selected isn't even the only way that you can keep on doing this. You can also have specific weapons that boost your intelligence, and also have specific reforges for those weapons that also boost your intelligence. To provide a basic example, I have a clean Bonzo Staff right here in my inventory, and if we read the numbers, it gives me plus 250 intelligence if I hold the item. If you take a look at my mana count without holding the Bonzo Staff, I start with 1492, but the moment I switch to the weapon, it goes all the way up to 1742. Now this is just a clean, simple Bonzo Staff with nothing added onto it. If I decide to reforge the Bonzo Staff to the Heroic Reforge instead of it giving me 250 intelligence, it provides 315 thanks to that plus 65 that the Heroic Reforge is actually giving. So if I hold the Heroic Bonzo Staff instead of the regular one, I go from 1742 intel all the way up to 1807, which once again is further boosting my mana on top of all the other things I've already done. And then last but not least, we also have pets. Now on this account, I have 2 sheep pets that I want to showcase in today's video, with one minor discrepancy to showcase the difference between the two. So if we take a look at the base stats of this level 100 sheep pet, it provides plus 100 intelligence and also plus 20% ability damage. But if I take a look at this sheep pet instead, this one provides me with plus 200 intelligence but the same plus 20% ability damage. Now if I go ahead and equip this sheep pet, my intel goes from 1400 to 1500, and if I do the same thing by holding out that Bonzo Staff from earlier, I go all the way up to 1900 intelligence. However, equipping this second sheep pet that somehow gives me an extra 100 intelligence will push me all the way up to 2000 intel, and the way that it does this is because of the pet item that it's holding. So the original sheep pet here is holding a dwarf turtle shellmet, and if we read the stats of that, it just says that it makes the pet's owner immune to knockback, with the pet owner being me in this case. Now, obviously, knockback immunity is really useful, but it's not going to boost our intelligence in any way. However, the second sheep pet here has an item called the textbook, which increases the pet's intelligence by 100%. This means that the textbook effectively doubles the base intelligence of a pet, so if you don't have any base intelligence at all in a pet and you apply the textbook, I'm pretty sure it does absolutely nothing, but because the sheep pet has a 100 base intel at max level, we are able to double that with the textbook and make the pet
That's too bad.
100 intelligence instead. And so now that we're clear on how we can boost our intelligence with a lot of different profile upgrades, now comes the part of the video where I tell you what items you should buy depending on what stage of the game you're at, and go into more detail as to how all of these things actually work, rather than just showing you how the intelligence increases. So to get things started with what gear upgrades you should go for to help increase your intelligence, I'm going to first talk about the armor set you should go for because it's arguably one of the easiest things to do. Now you've already seen it in the showcase, but the full Wise Dragon set is one that I highly recommend getting your hands on. Not only is it really cheap and making it super accessible for early game players, but you can further dungeonize it, 5-star it, and buff it up to be even stronger than the base set, which will carry on all the way up until floor 7 dungeons, and overall just provides an insane amount of intelligence for what it is. Not to mention the full set bonus of the full White Dragon set is also really good. It helps conserve your mana a lot more.
Okay, let's start thinking. I'm thinking. Maybe we should get wise. Like, you know, we just get wise. So I'll do that. I'll try. Ah, okay, little one. I'm not quick enough. And I won't connect me. Great. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my days. Okay, guys, I'll turn this right in because I was so bad. Shut down.